Hi everyone, welcome back to Plants vs Zombies, and let's get this finished. So the only thing I've got left to do is to get the tree up to 100 feet, and I'm not far off. I am at 92, so I need 8 more bags of this stuff, which means I need $20,000 dollars. Yeah. So let's oh, clicked on the wrong thing there. This is monotonous, but we're not too far off now, so just get the stuff we need. I mean, if anything, the last slot, it should really be the imitator for pumpkin, I guess. Or garlic. I mean, I think I said before that the imitator wasn't very good, but if you do get to a situation where your garlic's down, then it makes a good idea. It's a good idea to put it down as a backup, I suppose. Oh man, I messed up. Oh. Me rushing a little bit. Right. Right. Let's put an imitator garlic just for you know, have like a slightly different grey, a slightly less beige and a bit more of a grey one for no reason whatsoever. Okay. Let's not upgrade those ones, because I don't want those ones upgraded. But I do need to wake them all up. Right. You there. Upgrade them. Lily pads. Lily pads everywhere. And then these marigolds everywhere. Makes like a splashing effect when you put them on the lily pads. And off we go to the races. So my goal is to get to $20,000. That's what I need. If I can get that, I'm sorted. Sorted for life, sorted for this playthrough, and this game will be done. You can probably hear the squeaking on my chair, and you can probably hear me like moving around. Like if I go over here, probably a bit quieter now. Wow. And if I'm like over here. Yeah, just that's how like movement works around the room. Yeah, hear that noise? Close to the camera. Tap the microphone. A bit further away. Yeah. It's a 2-litre bottle of Aldi's ZX Cola. I'm going to all out now. Yep. Yep, this is what we're doing. Okay. Anything need updating? I don't think so. I wonder how much it would help to just have like one sunflower. I could do that, you know, I could put like a sunflower on. And maybe not do the but no, there's no point. There's no point at all. Yeah, to be honest, I'll just be happy when this is over. I do like this game, I've enjoyed it, but you know, we're at that point now where it's like, this is it. Just get it done with. Not really doing anything else inside the Zen garden or anything. I've got a squash. That's all I've got left with it. I've got a squash, but it's only a small one, and I don't think there's much point to. I mean, if I level up, I could maybe get the money a bit faster and get 8,000 from that. Well, hold on. No. Okay, well, these are going to be a little slower. Well, I did mess up a bit there. Okay, well, I guess I'm just not going to be having as much going down this time. It's okay. Yeah, I should have set those up earlier. Got two fewer marigold. Oh, I've got no... Oh. Well, I've got no sun, so I can't replace the garlic on the bottom. Have I messed up? Maybe. Probably not. I'm probably fine. I can just have them eating away that pumpkin. The pole vaulters for a bit. It's not like there's much. It's not going to get through much. The only thing is if that garlic dies, then that's that gone. Yeah, I mean, lots of them are going to be biting on that bit of garlic now. All right, well, garlic. I'll replace you. I won't replace the garlic just yet. Okay, So I haven't really messed up. I did just a little bit of... I've done just a bit of screwing up. This is the mellow part of the game now. I'm just sort of kicking back and if I knew the Fresh Prince theme song, I would have followed it up with that, but I don't really know it. I know some of it. I know generally like the rhythm and how it goes, but I don't know like every word of it. Kicking back something that's no school, shooting some b-ball out to your school, when a couple of guys. Yeah, that bit there. That's a bit out when I said kicking back. I have no son. Again, I always, every now and then, I come up with like I say something without realising what I'm saying, and then as soon as I realise, it's like, that sounded different than how I intended it. You're like, I have no son. I'm just saying, like, I've got no sun. Like, I've got no sunlight. There's a joke in there somewhere. Someone could make a joke about how their kid betrayed them by playing Plants vs Zombies, and they spent all, and they just kept getting loads of, just kept planting pea shooters without the sunflowers, and they can say like, oh, I turned to him and I went, I have no son. I've made like long-winded jokes, like just leading to a really bad punchline before. Yeah, this is the final wave. Well, the final flag, the huge wave is coming up just now. Okay. Fine. Let's have a look. Zen Garden. I'm just curious about this one. 3,000. Go on then. Shop. One, two, three, four. Oh. Alright then, I only need 10,000 more, and then that's it. Okay, I always click on puzzle. I always click on puzzles instead of mini games. So yeah, this will be done soon. And I think once I'm done with this, I'll give my final thoughts on the game. I mean, I could give my final thoughts on the game as I'm doing this, but I'd rather, you know, just because otherwise this would be a rather short part, and I'd rather have it a bit more consistent. So I'm going to just do this as normal. So oh, I've got the coffee bean. Right. Man, I was thinking almost there. I think I only need to do this level 2 more times. I maybe could have held off on buying the what's it called? Tell you what, let's start down here. Have you seen that? Okay, get back to my original point. I did I was thinking I could have maybe let my squash grow a bit, but then I might as well have just sold it. Anyway, what I was saying after that was, have you seen that video? There's a video I've seen where it's like 2 people have got the challenge of getting all like picking up all these items that like in a big line, and one person the one person starts by just picking up the ones that are, so you got to pick one up, put it in a box or whatever, and then one person like starts with the ones that are really close to them, and so they pick it up and just like, chuck it in, and then when they get to like the last few, they've got to, and then after those they have to start like running back and forth to get the other ones, and then the other person does it back to front, so they start running like to the far away ones first to get them at the ones at the back, and at the start the one who gets the ones at the front first is like way ahead, obviously, because they're not running back and forth, but then by the end of it, the person who started with the running wins. Because, like, obviously they're both completing the same task overall, but they're using up all their energy, like, early on, or something like that. That was quite interesting. Anyway, I was just reminded of that when I was placing the marigolds. I was thinking, let's just put the ones down here first. Okay, come on. Bring on the huge wave. Oh, man, I mean, do you have to do those so early? You're kind of messing me up here. You're not meant to do those yet, you know what? Fine. I'm sure cutting out a couple of marigolds will be perfectly fine at this stage in the game. I was going to say, you think the zombies could learn their lesson, but part of what it is to be a zombie is that you don't actually learn anything, do you? All you know is brains. You must get brains. Brains over there, go there. But these zombies do know one thing. They know garlic, ooh, not brains, tastes bad. So that's the thing that they learn. Yeah, they do learn something. I was going to say they're not completely brain dead, but actually they are kind of. It's kind of what their whole deal is. No, you do not. I wonder if there's like enough RNG that like you can, like maybe that's happened with me where just then when I had two of those guys appear at on the same side of the pool. Because if they spawn randomly, then they could all spawn like in the same row. But if two of them spawn, if many of them spawn on the same side of the pool, that could kind of screw over some of my pumpkins. Oh! I noticed the garlic is down. Oh yeah, I mean, don't have to worry about anything else. The bucket heads get there. Oh, well, I guess the imitator for those isn't worth it. Oh, diamond. Speed up the process a little bit. Okay, put that back on. I've only got 50 sun for now, so. Oh, another diamond! Man. You're doing good work, aren't you? This will be over soon. Next time, which will probably be the last time, tell you what I'll do to mix things up a little bit. I'll use the imitator version of the pumpkin, and I'll put some grey pumpkins on things just to change the scenery a little bit. Because yeah, the thing is, if you put the imitator garlic, oh, it just went away. You need a bit of time for it to be out for it to do its thing. Oh, what are you doing? No, you're not meant to. Well, tell you what. Let's just restart. I do get to keep the gold, don't I? I didn't mess up. Oh, hold on. I don't actually know if I kept the gold or not. Didn't even think about that. Right. Well, that would be annoying if I made that error there, but that's. I mean, it's annoying, but it's fine. Right, let's wake them up. And yeah, just a bit of a change of scenery, some nice grey pumpkins. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'm doing it again where I mean, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, I'm doing it again where I do the closer ones first. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to just put these in now. That's fine. Let's begin the onslaught. Okay, I do keep my money. That's good. Yeah, so this part, this is going to be the final part. It's going to be a bit shorter than normal. I've had a couple that have been longer than normal, where I've been doing the challenges, but this part's going to be a bit shorter, I think, just because I don't have that much more to go. I've got very little to go, because I'm almost done. But I want to spend a bit of time just talking about the game and give final thoughts, I suppose. That is how I like to end it, a playthrough. But just look at that number. I'm pretty sure that once I get to 10,000, that's it. Yeah, this actually, you know, like, at the start of this grind, I honestly thought it was going to take longer, but I think I underestimated how much gold I could get from selling my marigolds in the Zen Garden. We're almost there. Just 510 to go. Just 470 to go. Just 380 to go. Just 340 to go. Just 300 to go. Yeah. $200. Oh wow! I always wanted that. Plant my Zen Garden at this point. Right, okay. 20 more. Okay. I think this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Zen Garden. Oh. Okay. Okay. And hey! I'm 100 feet tall by typing daisies to get the zombies to leave tiny daisies behind when they die. Well, let's do that. You know what? Yep. Hey Steve, wake up. I'm leaving you. And I'm leaving you this garden of all the plants in here. Look at all of them. Look at every single plant here. You've earned it. Anyway. Okay. Just gonna have a look at the daisies that the tree told us about. Whatever. But yeah, that's it. That's the game completed. It's every achievement, every challenge, everything done. Right. Let's have a look at this daisy when it appears. Tell you what, let's dig up these plants here. And that didn't leave anything. Oh, there you go. Some little daisies there. How lovely. How very quaint. Okay. Well, zombies, you can make your way freely over to my house. Left the door open for you. Yeah, okay, whatever. Right. So that was Plants vs Zombies. Very good. And actually, if you have a look at our achievements here, we can see everything is done, including all the ones I already had. So, adventure mode. Yep. That's just blow up a thing with a thingy, a potato mine. 10 damage with a cherry bomb is easy enough. Multiculturalist, don't pee in the pool. I mean, I did show you that. I made a note of them as well. Yeah, and I even showed you the mustache mode. And the Towering Wisdom there as well. So that is that. Final thoughts of the game before I close this off. This game is really good. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it the first time I played it. The way I discovered this game, so this was in, I think it was either it came out in 2009. It might have been then. It might have been 2010. It was. There was a show on YouTube called NoobTube, or NoobTube, spelled NoobToob, with Tobin Kazaya and Yuzo Watanabe, and they both sat down on chairs behind a table, and they just talk about like new games that come out, and they'd say like, oh yeah, I've been playing this game, and then they just talk about the games, and they give them thumbs up or thumbs down. It was a good show. And one time they were talking about Plants vs Zombies, and they were saying like, oh, it's a PopCap game. And in my mind, it was like I knew PopCap vaguely through some other games. Was I familiar with Bejeweled? I probably was familiar with Bejeweled at this point. I think, yeah, I played Bejeweled 2 when I first got my PS3, early on. But I'm sure I was somewhat familiar about it. But I knew PopCap originally through, I think it was when I was in secondary school a few years before then. And it was the, like in one of the rooms with the computers. Because with PopCap games you could just go on the website and just play games that they had there. So I remember I had a friend who was into, it was called Big Money, I think. It was like a grid of coins. You just have to like click on the coins to get rid of them. It was very, I mean, the games are very simple in general, but it was just manic clicking on that one. There was Bookworm, where you could, it was sort of like a Scrabble thing, I guess, where you have to try and get words out. In fact, you can see if you go down to achievements, there's Bookworm, there's the Bookworm there. So there's other things like there's the Bejeweled Jewels. That thing, I don't know what that is. I didn't play that one. I've seen it before, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, Peggle. I remember that as well. I'm sure they talked about Peggle as well at NoobTube, but I don't remember how much. And Zuma, my friend who was into Big Money on the PopCap game site, showed me Zuma on his Xbox. I think it was like my first introduction to like indie games as a concept. This was before I got a PS3 or anything like that. And it might be the original Xbox, but it was this idea of like indie games, like small games, and it was interesting. But yeah, they were talking about this game. They were saying it was really good, and then I played it. I mean, I should be able to. Actually, I could check my trophies, but I was playing it. I don't know if it was the first time I was playing it, but I remember I was definitely playing it on PS3. It was towards the end of 2010, because that year Sufjan Stevens released his album The Age of Ads, which I got, and I was listening to that. I was having my first proper listen to that when I was playing Plants vs Zombies, and man, that album was really something for its time. Very, very nostalgia heavy. But anyway, so I did play through Plants vs Zombies. My brother played it afterwards, and I remember him saying, like, at one point you stayed up all night playing because he got addicted to it, and I don't blame him, because at the end of the day, it's a very good game. And I think my ultimate conclusion is that it is the ultimate. It's like the final form, or like the final logical endpoint of what PopCap were going for, because they have all these games which are very, like, quite cartoony, not over the top, not too cutesy, not too over the top. Like, it obviously isn't like Ren and Stimpy style or anything like that. A bit more, maybe something like the Flintstones or the Simpsons style art to them. Very, very like rounded, I guess. And I think when you start with a simple concept like they did with things like Bejeweled and Bookworm and Big Money and all that, something like this has definitely got that cutesy element to it. So you've got you've got like the art, the plants and the zombies, and they've all got their own personality and stuff. But also, it's very much a case of they added just enough complexity to make it a good game. Whereas I think their biggest error before then was that there wasn't enough. It was just a bit too simple. I do think when it comes to like Zuma, there was some levels where it was like, you get like these rows of balls that like go like through and underneath and around, and they could get quite difficult. But I think this game added just enough like complexity to it that it made it something that more serious, like, quote, serious gamers could enjoy, I suppose. Even though it still is quite easy. If you ever look at the almanac here, I mean, look at all these different plants. there's just so many of them, and you get them one at a time. That's another genius thing about this game, is that every level, and they mentioned this on NoobTube as well, I'm sure they did. Every level, you got a new plant. So, or you've got, if you didn't get a new plant, you've got like the shovel or access to the shop or something. But every level it was like, oh, you did that, here's a new plant. And it would just introduce like little things over time. And it really eased you into it. But by the end of it, you've got all these different plants with like all these different like effects. And even the same with the zombies. You know, you've got like general like, oh, you've got these ones that like are more powerful versions. You've got your own custom flag zombie. And then you're like, oh, this one can jump over them. And you've got like this one. Well, the fume shroom can blow through the door, but peas and stuff don't. And it's intuitive as well, because when you think about it, what the item they're carrying is a door with like wires. It's like a wired door. It's not a solid door. And it's like, okay, so large solid objects can't pass through, but a gas can. So it's got like a very intuitive design to it. And you can see like here, like these, like, okay, well obviously they're going in water, and the balloons they're flying over. Yeah, there's just a pole vaulting one. Yeah, just like I said, just like an intuitive thing that they could do. If I go to the plants, you know, you can see like here, like obviously like that one shoots. Oh, it's got angry eyes, so it's more powerful than this one. But yeah, I do think there's quite a bit of there's a lot of like intuition about it, like with the balloons. So like you get a cactus, and it's like a cactus can pop a balloon. It's like, oh, that makes sense, because it's like a spike. Even though a projectile would be able to pop a balloon in general, the only real difference is that the cactus can like raise up and shoot them from the sky, but because it's a cactus, you get that intuition of it's a spike that like flies through the air, and the spike bursts the balloon. So yeah, you do get a lot of very sticking with the cutie theme in a way, but still intuitive as well. And even like squash, it's called a squash because it's you know, because that's the fruit that it is. It's the fruit called squash, and what does it do? It squashes them. So I think they were really onto something there. And then they've got the different levels. So you know, you've got the pool level, then you've got the night level. Introduces to night, so you've got the mushrooms, and then you've got the pool level, which introduces water, and you've got plant that can only go in the water, and all that. And I think it really, I think this is it's the highlight, it's the high point of what they were going for at the time. So I think they really hit on something big there. I'm not sure if Bejeweled 3 came after this. I think it did. I think Bejeweled 3 might have come afterwards. And Bejeweled 3 is actually that's sort of that same thing, but Bejeweled specifically. So they've got like all different modes in Bejeweled 3. But this one, I mean, you've got all these different like mini games with different, and it's like, you know, all these different takes on the same core gameplay loop. Obviously you've got your survival mode as well, and even still the whole new game plus thing with adventure, where you play through it again, but you know, you keep what you've bought, and then you also have a few selected for you by Crazy Dave. the Zen Garden as well. Zen Garden is very good. See, I see Steve here has sort of realised that I've left him with nothing and he decided just to sleep for the rest of eternity, which he will do. That's very dark. I tell you what, Steve, right? You can have some chocolate, right? Have some chocolate. Do you want any more chocolate? No? I've got plenty of chocolate to go around, but you're the only one here. Oh well. Yeah, so... the Zen... Yeah, so anyway, what I was saying was the Zen Garden. The Zen Garden... This game, I think this game came out... It was around the same time, maybe a bit before or after the whole Farmville trend. So the whole idea of you coming back to the game afterwards, or leaving it for some time and coming back and taking care of plants or whatever. A farm in the case of Farmville. That's when that trend was really kicking off, and the Zen Garden kind of encapsulates that. But because it's tied with Plants vs Zombies, it hasn't got... What they did at the time was... It was the whole thing of like, pester your friends, send them notifications through Facebook. And the Zen Garden sort of scratched that same itch without actually going down that route. So I think... If you're going to talk about PopCap, at least from my experience... Plants vs Zombies is like the ultimate PopCap game. It encapsulates everything that they wanted to do, and it does it the best. And so this is the pinnacle of PopCap, I would say. Peggle was very good by a lot of people's standards. I think Peggle did get a sequel, which came out quite a bit afterwards. But I think... And again, Peggle touched on many of the same things. You had like unique characters and simple mechanics. But I think Plants vs Zombies, it really did. It really was the high point of PopCap, which is to say that I think it was also the start of the downfall of PopCap. Now I say the downfall of PopCap that they were bought by EA, and if you look at the Plants vs Zombies like IP since this game, yeah. I'm just gonna take a drink here. So, Plants vs Zombies from this point on sort of diverted into two different directions. There was the main series, and then there was the Garden Warfare games. And I think both of them are examples of the absolute worst thing, like the worst way you could have taken the game and divided it up. And they both did like terrible things in different ways. Now I'm not saying like Plants vs Zombies 2 is a bad game, because I get the feeling it's probably a good game, but it's mobile exclusive, I believe. But this is when you start getting into the whole microtransactions thing, and like daily timers and stuff, and it really stops becoming like a core part of the game, and it just becomes a means for you to spend money. And that is what a lot of mobile games became at that point. Mobile games, they did become this thing where it was just, let's try and get as much money through microtransactions, like gacha games and idle games and all that sort of stuff. Now I like idle games, I'm not playing any gacha games. I have a friend who does, but those games, at least on mobile, at least for the most part, they are focused on funneling you towards microtransactions. And that's what Plants vs Zombies 2, I believe Plants vs Zombies 2 did it. I again, don't quote me on that, but I've definitely heard that Plants vs Zombies 3 definitely went in that direction. And if you look at the art style, Plants vs Zombies 2, it's a bit less, I would say a bit less refined. It's a bit more like bouncy and cartoony, I guess. And I think with 3 it was even more so, and it really does feel like from what I've seen of 3, it seems like everything was really like dumbed down, and I think, I mean, again, I can't speak from experience because I've not played either of those games, but you really get the sense that, like, yeah, it's just a way of funneling money. I mean, this is EA, don't forget. This really is a way of funneling money through the franchise, through through Plants vs Zombies. And if you look from the other direction, the Garden Warfare, it's like, what is this? So the thing is, like 2009, 2010, it was around this time when first-person shooters became a thing, like a big competitive thing, and it was a little bit before there was a particular brand of first-person shooter that became big afterwards, like Overwatch and that sort of thing, where it was all about like different, like this roster of different characters with all like different personalities and stuff, and they've all got like different like identities, but it is ultimately a competitive first-person shooter. And Garden Warfare is basically a take on. The name is basically a take on. I'm gonna take a drink. I'm talking a lot. So usually when I'm playing the game, when I'm playing the game, I'm doing things. I'm not talking constantly, but here I'm talking constantly. I'm gonna grab a drink of my ZX Cola from Aldi. Yeah, so Garden Warfare, clearly a take on Modern Warfare, Call of Duty. But, and again, this is EA. And they turn it into like a first-person shooter, and it so doesn't fit the brand of Plants vs Zombies. And it's like, because Plants vs Zombies represents, or at least it represented something very particular and unique that was a deviation from the way the industry was going. Because like I said, the industry was going like gritty, serious first-person shooters. You got Gears of War and Halo, and there was a whole bunch of them, absolutely loads of them. Stuff like Dark Sector was that one, and was Dark Void another one? I don't know. Anyway, there's plenty of those. And Plants vs Zombies was sort of like PopCap saying, like, look, you can make a good game without having to go down that route. But then when EA took it, it was like, oh, we're just going to go this route with it. And so the tone doesn't match at all. Like, have you ever played a game where... I'll give a comparison. Have you ever played a game where what you're playing is like a modern... like a re-release of an old game, and they keep the graphics the same, they use the same sprites and everything, but they update the menus, so, and like the text boxes and everything, so all your characters are like giant pixelated, maybe a bit blurry, and then you've got these text boxes that are absolutely pristine. I can't remember where I was going with this point, but yeah, it just sort of like, it was just like a mismatch. And it sort of felt like that to me. Like it was a real mismatch between what Plants vs Zombies was all about and what Plants vs Zombies was becoming. Just antithetical to what it is. So yeah, you've got EA, you've got PopCap saying, look, we know what we're good at, we know what we do. And then they make Plants vs Zombies, and it's a big hit, and it's like, this is PopCap through and through. And you can see it, and it's like, they've really outdone themselves. You know, fantastic. And it's like, it's an example to the industry that you don't have to go this dark and gritty route. And then EA took over, and they were like, okay, well, first-person shooters are big and popular, let's make a first-person shooter of this brand. And I don't know how well it sold. I mean, I think it probably sold fine. Probably sold pretty well. But it's kind of like, what's the... even if it's good, even if it sold well, things have an identity, and it's kind of like, why Plants vs Zombies, other than like a tactical market grab? Like, why does this, like, why should we as the audience accept that Plants vs Zombies is like a first-person shooter series? And it just felt like it was going completely against what the original game was all about. And I think when you compare the old PopCap leading up to Plants vs Zombies, what you see is a general progression towards something great. I think this game is great. One of my absolute favourite games? Definitely not. But I think the game is great. So that's what you see when it leads up to like every game leading up to it. It was like, right, so we're getting stuff there, we're learning things, we've got a particular style, and this game is like, look, this is our style, we know what we're good at, here it is, this is Plants vs Zombies, and it's fantastic, and people love it. And then that's when the degradation begins. EA take over and they start doing like mobile games with microtransactions, and start turning into a first-person shooter. So this game is like the mountain. It's the central point. It's everything leads up to it, going up, and then after it, and then it goes down again. And I think, even though 2009, I mean, you know, gaming history is always going on. It's always time is always ticking. Things are always changing, and I think if you're going to look at something special from 2009, I mean, personally, people would disagree with me. I think Final Fantasy 13 is a fantastic game. That came out in Japan in 2009. Came out elsewhere in 2010. People disagree with me there, but whatever. But I think Plants vs Zombies is special because of what it represents, and it's just a good game. And I think when we look back at history, I do think that this is a point that should be at least noteworthy at some point. That's what I think. Anyway, I did end up going for quite a while because I was going into a big diatribe about this game, but I'm kind of glad that I did. Anyway, how are you doing, Steve? You're walking around, going back and forth. Would you like some chocolates? Oh, no, you're still high off the last batch of chocolate? Oh, hold on. What are you still doing here? I didn't sell you? Well, let's sell you. Yeah. You know what, let's yeah, I'm not growing the tree any further than this. Thank you for freeing me. I am out of wisdom for now, but I might have more. Well, managed to get the tree of wisdom to 102 feet. The thing is, it's a bit cheap. I mean, it's not really cheap, but it's when you think about it, you know, you see the tree growing, and then when it gets to a certain point, it's just like you want to see the base of it, and it's like a note saying, "Oh, yep, it's 102 feet tall." You get a lot of wisdom just by standing around. You can, or talking to people, or talking to you. Great tree of wisdom. And there's Steve running around. Yeah. So that was interesting. Was not expecting to talk about the game for however long I did just then, but I think I made a good point. I think it was a good way to round out the series. So anyway, that is Plants vs Zombies. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.